If you look at just about any new car today, you'll notice that most of the grille, or at least part of the grille, what looks to be the grille, is actually blocked off to restrict airflow. This reduces drag and also improves efficiency of the cooling system. We're simply going to do the same thing with the Astro by blocking off this outside portion of the grille. I'd done this years ago on my two-wheel drive Astro and saw notable improvements in the MPG. Now that I have a magnehelic gauge to check air pressure differences from the front side of the radiator to the back side of the radiator, we can see just how much of an air pressure drop we can get. How much the factory had and how much blocking the grill off makes a difference. And to do this, I just got a magnehelic gauge off of Marketplace and some vacuum tubing from the parts store, running it out through the window. We run it down. I had to take this plastic trim loose a little bit to get the hose down so it didn't get pinched in the hood. And one hose runs down. I got it behind the radiator shroud, and then the other one I got ran out behind the fender, and it's coming forward and going down the front of the radiator. And I tried to make sure I got it in the same location front to back. So here's factory, and we find that it really doesn't suck very much. It's just only about 20, and it stays there from 40 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour. Without any additional pressure drop at speed, that means that the radiator air conditioner is not gaining any efficiency since it's still moving the same amount of air. This is also an indicator of a lot of drag. Convert our air pressure dropped over to CFM, which may be a little bit more relatable number. We get 6,268 CFM. So in stock form, that's the maximum amount of air we can move through the radiator at any speed. Now we have our grill block pieces in place and ducting, and by ducting it's just a 22 gauge piece of metal that ran from the grill back to the core support. The idea was to help direct airflow into the radiator, and we definitely saw an improvement over factory. And what we found with any of these configurations is, at least with just the grill blocks in place, it's doubling our pressure difference and almost doubling our CFM flow. And even here at 35-40 miles an hour, we have as much airflow as the factory did at 70 miles an hour. Next, we kept our grill blocking and ducting in place, but we added a hood seal. This is also a common feature you'll find on newer vehicles, trying to keep outside air in and low pressure in the engine bay. I honestly didn't think that this little strip of rubber on the front of the hood could make that big of a difference, but it actually proved to be quite effective. And it worked, showing consistent gains from 40 miles an hour up to pushing 1 full inch at a little over 70 miles an hour. Now means that 1 inch of pressure difference, we'd have about 14,000 CFM of airflow. Increase flow, decrease resistance. Next we remove the ducting pieces to see what effect they had. And we did see a little bit of a drop in pressure difference, but also not only was able to get to 60 miles an hour to test these. And keep in mind that the optimal angle for the ducting pieces is highly speed variant, and it's going to be based on the fan shroud angle, fan area, so there's a lot that goes into it to get it right. Lastly, we tried doing a full upper grill block, and I just took some cardboard and blocked the entire upper grill off. Doing this pretty much equalized the pressures and resulted in no radiator flow at any speed, so this is definitely not what you want to do. You're very likely to have overheating problems in this setup. So I'd known for 5 or 6 years that these grill blocks made a big difference in fuel economy with my other van, but the real surprising thing was the airflow through the radiator and how much we were able to increase that, all while reducing drag, probably greatly increasing downforce, and horsepower. Fan's not on as much, less drag. So let's make one of these partial grill block pieces and see if we can fix this broken grill at the same time. Just have a bit of old cardboard box to make a template out of, pen, and I just have an old piece of like flashing trim. Local marketplace, you can probably find some for free. You just want something light and free because you don't want to have to worry about a payback period. You know, if you do this for nothing besides some time, you can immediately save money. So you're going to need a set of shears to cut metal if you use it. You could use coroplast, I guess, the plastic like cardboard. Like a good bit of abuse, and I mean, come on, you don't want shit zip tied to your grill, you know, just spend a little bit of time and make something nice here. So we're just going to take our cardboard and we're going to make a template and see what we need to cut out. Okay, we have our template made. I mean, it looks simple enough, but there is some angle to this edge, so it's not a perfect square. Just mark the top to bend. It will be towards us here. This one gets bent under at the grill bar. So, and it turns out this piece will work for all 4 locations. We can move it down and it'll fit the lower part of the grill, except when you bend your final piece, you want to make sure that both bends are going in the same direction to attach it at the bottom. And also this area here, the turn signal ear like fits behind to hold the turn signal in. So I'm gonna mark out my pieces for the top first, and then I'm gonna notch this template, and then we'll cut our bottom pieces, our final bottom pieces. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and start looking for some material to make these out of, it's about 6 1/4 inches wide, and about 6 inches exactly height-wise is what you'd need to make each one. So you'd need 4 pieces that size. And we're just going to bend this down over a plywood tabletop here because I only have 2 hands. So I clamped it down with a square. Such then it bends pretty easy. If you actually have 2 hands, you may not have to clamp it, but it may give you a nicer bend if you do. So we're getting there. I'll take it off the table and bend a little bit better with 2 hands here. Okay, we have our piece. Bent. One flange going one way, one going the other for the top, and stick it on here. And you can see here we have it trimmed. We got a pretty good gap there. It's a little bit wavy, but it doesn't really matter too much. But the grill does have a bit of a curve to it, so if you really want it to fit tight, I think the one concern may be you may get a whistle. You may get a wind whistle if you have too much gap on the backside of these grill bars. So to do this without a shrinker to change the curve of this bent edge, we're just going to take the snips and put maybe a snip or 2 in that edge, and then we can bend it some. And I've just put 1 snip in the middle of that piece and just bend it a little bit by hand, and we have a little bit tighter fitting. And here's the bottom I was talking about, where you have this turn signal pad for the tab to help retain the turn signal. Obviously this is still the top piece that we're working there. This flange should be bent down like this side is, but just making this one piece for now. So you just want to mark this roughly where that turn signal pad is. And we're just going to cut that back some. So here's that lower piece. I just stuck the turn signal in, check for clearance. You can see that tab where it goes through and hooks in. So we just clearance that out a little bit. So for the bottom ones, 3M tape. This is probably maybe the most expensive. It's definitely the most expensive thing you'll need for this project if you don't have some. But just use double face tape on the bottom edge, the bottom part of the grill here, and the same thing up here, and you'll just kind of get the bottom. You'll just kind of get the bottom stuck fast, and hopefully be able to rotate that top down and then press it into place. Put a strip of it here as well to help hold that into place. On the top, you can just do the same thing. Or since our grill here is broken, and you may have the same thing, or it may just be cracked at the end and you want to stiffen it up or fix it, run 3M tape on the bottom edge against the grill, and then the top you'll just put screws in to hold the top of the grill to the rest of the grill again. And that's about what it would look like. It looks pretty factory, really. Use some factory looking screws to hold it in place. And this grill wasn't broke the whole way, but you can see it was cracked. The two end bores were cracked, so that it really stiffened the grill up quite a bit. And you can see I just used some spring clamps and held this into place and put 2 screws in, and now at least the grill is attached together and is pretty solid again for being totally broke. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Put your grill back together and you know, paint them black or paint them whatever color you want. Black, you don't even notice it. And I mean, crazy difference in airflow and pressure difference, and just how much drag this cuts out, and how much more efficient it makes the radiator and your air conditioning. Crazy for cheap or nothing.